Northerners. Today, on Merry Merry Meeples, I, the Groom, am going to be doing a solo play of Imperial Settlers, Empires of the North from Portal Games. This is on my top 13 favorite games. I'm starting a series doing that. Start last month when I did Flux. I'll be doing one a month. Alright? At least the top 13 that have solo rules, I should specify. Alright, well, let's get to the table, and I'll kind of do a quick walkthrough, and then I'll just get playing. You guys can figure it out. Alright, so I'm finishing the setup, which is draw 5 cards, choose which one you want, or choose 3 to keep, discard the other 2. So how this game plays is you are going to be putting out cards from your hands that have abilities. You're going to be putting these action puns out on this little circle thing to do abilities. You get workers. You use your workers to trigger actions. You get resources. The solo mode in the base game has this book of scenarios. This is how you play solo. I'm doing the very first one called Winter is Coming. So the setup changes in that is I take 3 of the little red tokens in addition to what's shown on my basic fields. Rules changes. I can spend 2 workers to gain a fish, and that may be activated any number of times. At the end of the game, before I add any points for my buildings or leftover resources, I need to spend an apple or a fish to feed each worker. Each worker that I can't feed, I lose 3 points. The other thing you do in a solo game is at the end of the lookout phase. Let me verify that. I just read it, but I want to make sure I'm not messing up. Once you finish all, yes. So at the end of the lookout phase, I'm going to take this little cupcake holder. I'm going to kind of shake it up. I'm going to hold it up here so you can kind of see. And I'm going to draw out a token. In this instance, it'd be 4. I look down here in the 4 and see what I have to do. Okay? So that is the main difference. The other difference, big difference in solo is it's a set number of rounds. We play 4 rounds. At the end of the 4th round, we score points. This has a points threshold of 30, so I need to score at least 30 to say I won. I am playing with this clan, the Drinking Clan, for the St. Patrick's Day week in which I am recording this and releasing it. So I figured that's a good clan to play with. So let's see what we got here. Assign a worker to gain a point and 1 resource from 2 different. That's always good. Spend a dude and a sheep to gain 2. Assign 2 to gain 2. Building bonus a raise token. This is instant. I'm going to gain 1 resource from 2. Assign 1 to gain either 1 red for each one of those buildings or a fish for each one of those buildings. I don't really have many, so I think as much as I'd like to do the brewery. Oh, but there's only 1 in the game. I'm going to keep the brewery. I'm going to keep the festival preparations. And let's keep the tavern. So we'll discard these 2. Alright, so I do want to try and get a raised token. Hopefully somehow I can get that, because I want to try and get this island. I think that's going to be a good one to do. Because the big thing about this clan is they assign workers to cards, which means the workers stay there unless you do an action to release them. So I may need to populate quite a bit so I can get workers to do stuff. Alright, so we're moving on to round 1. We're in 1. First thing you do is the lookout phase. I'm going to draw 3 cards and choose if I want to keep any. For every card I keep, I have to get rid of a worker. Bjarne's Tavern, I'm just going to get rid of that because I already have one of those. The Friendly Giant. Assign a worker and spend a fish to gain 2 points and a raise token. I do need a raise token. And spend a sheep to gain 1. I'm going to keep these 2. So I'm going to put 2 workers in my spent workers. Add them to my hand. I am going to be consulting the rules a little bit. It's been a little bit since I've played it, so I just need to verify a couple things. Yep. Any cards I don't want should be placed in the discard pile. Players retrieve the cards they had set aside. Alright, now, shake this up. Reach up here. I'm not looking. 2. 2 is I feed the travelers. I can spend a fish or a red to gain 2 gold. I am going to do that because gold is a wild resource in this game. And that goes back in for it may trigger a gain. Alright. Oh, the other thing I should mention is there is one other location with an action on here. As is the case with all actions in this game, you can only use it once per turn and then it gets exhausted. So this is I spend a rock, a red, and a fish to gain 4 victory points. So I have some cool harvest things. There's my... I can spend to build this, just assign a worker, and spend a fish to gain 2 points in a raise token. Like I said, I need a raise token to get over there. Gold coins can be used to do resources, which is this whole row here. It cannot be used as a raise token. So I think doing the friendly giant will be our first thing to do. So we are going to put 1 on construct, which is build a card for free. Or do I want to just build it? It only costs a wooden, I'm just going to build it. So I put out my friendly giant. I am now going to do its action. So I exhaust it, and that is to assign a worker and spend a fish to gain 2 points and a raise token. Then I am going to need to get new fish. I have a fish there. Technically I can use that as a fish. I do want to harvest those so I can either get out the new pasture or that festival preparations. And I think that's what we're about to do. We are going to put this on harvest. Gain resources from 1 building. So I'm going to play this boost card first. Gain a resource from 2 different pumpkin buildings, which are my production buildings. I am going to grab that fish. And I am going to grab a wood, seeing as I just spent a wood. And then it's asking, then I can get all the resources from 1 of the buildings. I kind of like... I'm going to get a sheep if I put that out. Let's get 2 more. Let's get another fish. It's always good to have food on hand. This goes to my discard. So that's another harvest to build. That's would be nice to get out. It costs 2 wood. That's an awful lot to spend. I don't have any rock, but I have the gold coins. This is a max 3. I have one of the tankards out now, and that'd be one of those. I'm gonna wait on that till I see what I can all get. Alright, I think we're gonna spend 1 of our reds to flip this, to put a boat on the board, and on that I'm going to put my fish, and I'm going to put my raised token. As I said, I want to go down for this new island, because that seems pretty good with me having sheep, and I don't have to populate here, because in the solo version what happens is at the end of the round, you're going to look to see where your tokens are, and you're going to flip these over to the solo side, which I now actually have to spend stuff to do the actions, which is not good. Do you want to get that other sheep card out? So let's go ahead and harvest again. We're going to stick that out, and every time you put one of these out, you get what's listed on there. So I get another sheep, and I'm going to harvest my 2 wood. I'm going to spend my 2 wood, put out my tavern, which is spend a dude and a sheep to gain 2 points. Dude, sheep, 2 points. Gonna hold on to this brewery. Is there anything else I want to do? Can't explore. I don't want to construct. we have that action. Nope, don't want to do that. I can only spend 2 workers to get a food. I only have 1. Alright, so I think that's going to be the end of that action phase. We'll now do this. So I'm going to sail down here and get this new island right over here. So now I can spend a sheep to populate. By building that, I get a fish, which is going to go back, and a rock. And this goes away, and my ship comes back. We now go into the cleanup phase. These get discarded. Going to put those up here off screen. We'll replace those. Place there. So here we see these. So the harvest is going to get flipped and the sail. So now to spend a sheep to harvest or a fish to sail. If I do not choose those in round 2, they will flip back over to the cheaper side. And then that moves to round 2. And these get unexhausted. My workers come off. I have the 1 card. And it's time to start round 2. So again, lookout phase. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tavern construction. Hey, we got a tavern. So this is a feature. Is each time you assign a worker, which is what I did down here, I can spend any resource to gain a point. And it's one of those kind of stone tower buildings, which this one kind of is looking for. Homestead, assign a worker to gain a point and 1 resource from 2 different buildings. That's kind of nice. Local brewery, that would help me get some of those. And a market is spend a sheep to gain 1. So I definitely want to keep these 2. You know what? We're going to keep 3. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Because I need to get some cards in my hand. And now we do this again. And 1. Frostbite. Spend a worker. Well, now I have no workers. So that does not bode well for our hero. So I need to explore to do that. I wouldn't mind exploring. Lots of resources, but no people. So we're going to start with doing my island. I'm going to spend a sheep to get a person. Put up this to get a person. Let's see what else we can build. Yeah, so we're going to do the market. We're just going to build it outright. For now, yes. The market. So I'm going to use its action, which is spend a sheep to gain a gold coin and to release a worker. And so spend 1 to harvest. Yeah, I think we're going to be sailing again, although it cost me a fish anyways. I am fine with that. So I'm going to assign that worker back. I'm going to spend a gold coin as a fish. 2 points. 1, 2. And get a raise token. And I'm going to push this on sail. Spend that fish to do the action. We're going to put out our boat. Just going to kind of put it down here to remind me that that's the one I'm going for. I'm going for Fairy Island. Populated. Explore. Let's spend our red to flip this over to explore, which is draw a card. And by doing that, I can actually get my resources over here. Put that out before I explored, which gets me my 2 red back. And I draw a card. Festival preparations again. Gain 1 resource from 2 different. So if you notice, this says it. I can do it on harvest. So when I actually get this card and trigger its ability for harvest, because it's in all capital letters, I can actually trigger that. I don't have sheep. Harvest is all the way over there. So I'm not going to be able to harvest and get any sheep. I do have gold coins. I can use as them. I can always move to construct. So I can get this homestead out. Yeah, we're going to come over here to construct, which is build a building for free. I'm going to pop my homestead, which action is assign a worker to gain a point and one resource from two different, which can get me that sheep. Why do I want a sheep again? Oh yeah, I'd be able to do this to get 2 points. Alright. We're going to go here and assign that worker. That gets me a point. And one resource from two different. Let's go ahead and grab a sheep and a fish, because the fish seem like they're getting harder to come by. I'll do this action, spend a worker, and that sheep to gain 2 points. Yeah, I think that's going to be good. Alright, all my workers are spent. Let's go ahead and do this. I get this another island. Let's put that down here. Build bonus is I get a red and a twig. Fish, that go away. And the boat goes up there. Alright, clean up. These all go away. So if I choose not to do a raise token, I can always pillage it for the goods that are listed up top, if that would suit me better. There's that. Move that to 3. Alright, does it say specifically where my clan pawn is? Before you take back your clan pawn, flip over any task containing them. So this contains it. But harvest and sail do not. And explore has it. Alright. Unexhaust my stuff. I need to get my little workers off of there soon. And that. Alright. So now we are halfway done with the game. Time for more cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Coming of age ceremony. Each time you populate, gain either a fish, a red, or a stone. Building bonus is a red. That's more likely going to get after party. Action, assign a worker to unexhaust any card in your empire. Sacred obelisk. Action, spend 2 fish, food, rock, in any combination to gain 2 points and release a worker. There's that festival preparations again, and there's another after party. Well, we're sure going to get rid of the after party. As it's going to be bad, I'm going to try and keep these 3 cards. So we'll put our 3 there. In our hand. Time to draw a token. Let's go with a good one. 1 again, so I have to spend another worker. Alright, where's that one that lets me release? Yes. Alright, so I'm going to be doing a sacred obelisk. Alright, I'm going to spend a red to harvest. I'm going to harvest first, I'm going to play the gain 1 resource from 2 different locations. I'm going to grab a fish and a red. Then I'll do the harvest on my sheep to get me 3 sheep. And I'll spend a sheep to populate. Go down here, spend this, spend a sheep to get a gold coin, and release a worker. I don't really need the raise token. Let's go ahead and rock and twig to build my sacred obelisk. Slide these down. Then in action, in any combination, I'm going to do a fish, and I'm going to do a gold coin to gain 2 points. 1, 2, and release a worker. There we go. Now I got some workers. Still only have one of those, but I have. I should have got this out first. Oh well. Got this card down here now. It's coming of age ceremony. Each time you populate, you gain a fish, a red, or a stone. Let me kind of push these up a little bit. So I kind of double row here. Really should have done that before I did that populate. You live, you learn. So instead we'll just populate to add a person. And because I populated, I did not get my building bonus for that. I am going to grab a rock. And I'm going to use that rock to build my brewery, which is assign a worker to gain either 1 red or 1 fish. So a red for each of these buildings, which I now have 3 of. So let's kind of move that down here by that one. Or a fish for each of these red locations. We got the 1 card left. Now let's work on our cards here. Alright, spend the worker, sheep, 2 points. That's assign a worker. Alright, we're going to do this. We're going to assign a worker to get a red, max of 3. I have 3. So 1, 2, 3. Because I do have to kind of be thinking about that end of game thing where I'm going to have to feed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right now, 9 workers because it is also your assigned workers. It's a lot of food. Do I want to sail? There's a lot of good pillaging out there. That's a nice pillage. Costs me a fish. Yeah, let's sail. Put my fish because I'm going to pillage there. So much food. Going to assign a worker here to gain a point and a resource from 2 different. We're going to grab a fish and we're going to grab a sheep. And then let's go ahead and do this one. Assign, spend a fish. I'm going to spend a gold coin for the fish to gain 2 points. And an axe. I think that's all. Technically still have a worker left. Let's set ourselves up because I can still flip these around. So we're going to spend 2, 1 to flip and 1 for the explore. Oh, I just need an explorer to play. Welcome party, instant. Choose one of your boats and immediately resolve. Not really a big fan of that card. Whichever. I'm going to spend a red to come over here and harvest, and I'm going to get my sheep. Okay. Used all these. I did not populate. Here I go to Splinter's Island. I'm just going to pillage. So it gives me a sheep, a fish, a food, and a point. Then it just comes up here. Fish gets spent. Poke goes away. This flips over. This flips over. Explore does not. We unexhaust. Bring off our workers here. Unexhaust these. Put out new islands. And we are going into the fourth and final round. Sheepland! Yes. I may want to be focusing on that one because that's giving me 2 food and 2 points. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Lookout phase. 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. Drinking up instant. Move your clan action pawn to any action tile. Additionally, release up to 3 people. Yeah, I should probably use that one. Assign 2 workers to gain 2 points. Welcome party. Market. Spend a... I already have a market, don't I? Yes. Yep, we're going to go with these 2. And one last pull from the mystical, magical Cup of Doom. 3. Exhaust 1 field location. Unexhaust it during the cleanup phase. So if it's exhausted, it means I can't get it. Wood, I can always go and construct if need be. Although I have plenty of fish. And what do I really need fish for? I need 1 there, but I can gain it when I populate, so we're just going to exhaust our fish. Alright, so I'm going to do an explore, a harvest, and a sail. I have a harvest over here. Spend a red. And harvest. So gain a resource from 2 different. Let's go ahead and gain a twig and a red. And then I can just harvest in general. Gives me 2 twigs I really need to spend to build that. Okay. So we will spend the 2 twigs to build my Northern Festival. Explore and sail. I don't care about the explore. We are going to do the sail. Put that here. And we're going to do that. But because I sail, I can play my drinking competition. Move your clan action pawn to any action tile. Additionally, release up to 3 workers. Boop, boop, boop. Release my workers. Boop. And move my action pawn anywhere. We are going to move it there. There we go. So again, not really worried about this one, because this really kind of is more of a multiplayer one, so you can resolve your boat before anyone else does stuff. Let's see. Worker. Fish. 2 points. And an axe. Spend a worker. And a sheep to gain 2 points. Spend a sheep to get a gold coin. And release a worker. Worker. A point. And a resource from 2 different. So we are going to grab apple and let's go with twig just because. Assign a worker. I'll get the 3 apples. 1, 2, and 3. Here I can spend 2 apples. So I don't have any rocks right yet. 2 apples to gain 2 points. 1, 2. And release a worker. Not like it matters. And here is assign 2 people to gain 2 points. I just realized I didn't grab my axe, I don't think, for building that. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have how many workers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, so I need 2 more. I can spend a sheep to populate, which would give me 1. But then that's just offsetting because that gives me another person. We're going to spend a food to come over here to sail. Put another boat out without a fish because I'm going to go and grab the occult grounds as well. So that's going to give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's going to give me plenty of food. So I could use that as a rock. Probably should have done that so I had this stuff. Because I need a rock and a fish. I don't have any of that. I misplayed that. Oh well. Here's what we are going to do. We're going to spend a sheep to populate, which brings me another worker. Allows me to trigger this. I'm going to take the rock. I am then going to spend a rock, apple, gold coin as a fish to get 4 points. I'm already sailing, so that's going to give me some food. I can technically harvest with a sheep. Harvest to get 2 more food. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 coming. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 workers. So I'm good there. So we are, I think, going to wrap it at there. All right. So now we'll still do the sail. I'm going to pillage this island, which is going to give me 2 food, 2 points. How are you? We are going to do this island. It's going to give me 2 fish. And another point. Those go away. Boat comes here. This is the last round, but I'm going to still unexhaust everything, just because I like it being standing up straight. So there we go. Alright. So scoring change. Before you add any points for buildings and food, you must feed all of your people. So as I said, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Fold back here to final scoring. Amen. Alright, so you will add 1 victory point for each car within their empire to their current score, including basic fields, field upgrades, and conquered islands. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Puts me at 48. Then add 1 victory point for every 2 resources remaining in their supply. 1, 2, 1. Puts me up here at 50. Then a victory point for every gold. I have no gold left. And these are not worth anything at the end. Alright, so there we go. So I ended at an even 50. Again, The target was, event victory points threshold was 30. So I did pretty darn good if I do say so myself. And also I was able to build a brewery, a tavern, and a festival going on. And a local brewery here. So I really kind of try to fit into the theme too of, hey, this is St. Patrick's Day week. Let's get going. You didn't see it because it was off camera, but I'm going to make sure to bring it in. I am also drinking it again, as I did for drinking Flux. So, this is from me to you. Cheers. Have a good St. Pat's if you saw this beforehand. Afterwards, enjoy the next St. Pat's. See you later.